お前はもう死んでいる。
Hey YouTube, so I'm back again with another One Piece chapter review slash kind of read through. So in fair honesty, I did read the chapter earlier today while I was on my break at work. I took the first opportunity I had since it was an early chapter release, and I was really hyped up since something told me that this was gonna be the end of the Odin flashback. Seeing everything that has happened with Wano and Odin, the scabbards, it's all been a wild ride, and I am honest, my thoughts haven't been completely put together on it since it's been a lot of thinking. But I still wanted to go through this read through and kind of reintegrate myself back into YouTube so I can get back into the habit of things. But without further ado, we're gonna read through chapter 972 together, which is titled "I Am Odin, I Was Born to Boil." So right off the bat, I'm just kind of hyped seeing the cup noodles advertisement that One Piece has been partnering with lately. It's been some beautiful commercials. I've never been so hyped for commercials before, but anything that has to do with One Piece, the best-selling manga of all time,
Best-selling manga in history,
always has me pretty hyped. But we get started with the chapter with all the citizens of Wano asking Shinobu if it's true, everything that she just said, that Odin has actually been helping them out for the past 5 years with his silly dances. We got Fukurokuju telling Shinobu to not tell the truth because the truth brings confusion. I think that's kind of relevant with all of the current world news slash fake news. The Lord Idiot who rebelled against the Shogun will die. Shinobu's like, yeah, I don't think so. I am a vassal of Odin and I will live or die like him. I don't obey you anymore. Shout out to Shinobu. I know she's taken mad heat over the past few chapters. Everyone was, either thinking that she didn't have good reasons or that she was the traitor, but here she is, pulling through. And now it even paints more amazing context to the conversation that she had with Law when she kind of believed that he was the traitor. But all the speculation and all of the skepticism was for good reason. She watched Odin die. Then you have some of the people starting to tell the Shogun to please stop the punishment because what was supposed to be entertaining is now extremely sad for them to see, and immediately poisoned arrows start shooting out of the sky and hitting everybody that's complaining, truly showing that Orochi is no dumbass. He's been carrying out a very meticulous, calculated plan from the beginning, and revenge, just as they say it in the panel, revenge can be quite scary. Everybody started realizing that the hope that Odin was bringing to Wano was gonna decimate immediately. And it's so heartbreaking seeing Odin carrying all of the scabbards while boiling alive. I mean, he's boiling in oil. This is what you cook food with. So he's being cooked, in a fashion where I even bet the smell of his burning flesh seemed appetizing, to those who wouldn't think it was a human being, which is even more just dark. He's Odin. He's named after a dish, and he was born to boil. You just see him bleeding and grinding his teeth as he's trying to hold up all of these giant samurai while having his body heated up to over 700 degrees. It's also a very interesting setting that Oda has been able to put together here. I mean, Wano has been extremely detailed, which is one of my favorite things about One Piece, the world building and the meticulous distinction between areas, even within one island itself. And Wano has been the epitome of that. You can tell that Oda has really tried to stretch his creative muscles when it comes to the world building with Wano. And this scene specifically almost feels as it's its own scene, and you can feel the emotion in the air. You can feel the tonality changes. I can't wait for this to be animated in the Toei animation. The news of Odin gets sent in a flying arrow all across of Wano, reaching even Yasu and Curry. Odin. It is just so hard to see Odin, a figure who we have admired for the past, 12, 13 chapters. He's been months that we've been following Odin, and we all knew from day one that he was not gonna make it out of this, but somehow Oda was able to make it. That I still cannot tolerate to see this happen. Fully knowing that he was gonna die, and the scabbards now, even though we did see it from the beginning, everything that built up to the scabbards' loyalty forming for Odin, it's even more like the nail being driven into the coffin, just to really state all of the things that the samurai have to thank Odin for. He saved their lives. He boiled for them. And there was definitely a lot of detail, a lot of information that was dropped in this chapter. And then coming back to the main idea of opening Wano's borders. This has been going on since Punk Hazard, the idea that this closed country needs to open. Hundreds of chapters dedicated to one single idea that is all centered around this character, with the will being passed down through generations so that Luffy can take the mantle and open the borders. And he tells his people, 20 years in the past as he's boiling alive, if I can't survive this, I would like to open the country. Then you have Orochi being like, what the heck is he talking about? He says, a very long time ago, those who sank this country from the outside world were members of the Kozuki clan. It was to protect Wano from a gigantic power. What power? Ancient weapons, maybe the world government. Somebody was trying to take Wano out. Now, what I don't understand is when Odin says that a very long time ago, those who sank the country from the outside world. What does he mean by sank? The country is sunken? Is this just a translation error? I'm definitely gonna keep my eye out for the official translation so I can get clarification. I may even do another video just to keep the hype going. By the way, I know at the end of the chapter it did give us the notice that we're coming back to Luffy and the gang next chapter, which I'm actually extremely excited. I miss Luffy. It's been a long time. The world is waiting for a particular individual, and when he appears traversing through 800 years of time, we must be a country that can welcome and support him or her. Now, I don't know if this is talking about Luffy, Shirahoshi, is it talking about Toki? I still need the official translation to make up my mind. A nice reminder of reality when Odin mentions it to his scabbards that he is going to die today. He knows it. I think he even knows that he's gonna survive the boiling, but there's no way that he's gonna be let alive. He's been shown over and over again by Orochi and Kaido that they can't be trusted. And he tells all his scabbards, I want you to open Wano for me. That is the moment where will was passed down, where all of the scabbards took on the mantle to open the borders. And this is where it's all going to be culminating to. Luffy will be opening them. This is, typical One Piece. Luffy comes into a island that is under distress and oppression, and he takes over anything that a hero would do. Not with intentions of being a hero, but that's just who Luffy is. It's his will to look out for the underprivileged. And just as Raizo said, which to me confirms he's not the traitor, if it's your dream, then it is ours too. Man, and it's only been 30 minutes. Even Orochi's like, why is he still alive? Raise the temperature. And however, Odin did not die. 10 minutes to go. 5 minutes to go. 3 seconds. 1 second. And he did it. The miracle has happened. He overcame the execution. He survived the boiling. Odin is looking at Kaido with determination, and I guess this is his thoughts where he's thinking the illusion has been dispersed, and once again the whole country is my ally. Prepare yourself, Kaido. I don't know why he says this when he knows he's gonna die. And then there's a moment of argument between Inuarashi and Nekomamushi where I think this is wrong translation, but Inuarashi tells Neko to not incite him, and Neko is like, what did you say? If you win, you win. Now, this may be the beginning of their feud, whatever happened years ago that started their daily battles, but we'll wait for the official translation. And of course, scumbag Orochi says, I had the idea to change your sentence to a shooting execution a minute ago, and then kill your whole family, icing on the cake. And then Odin just says, open Wano, and tosses all of his scabbards out, giving them the opportunity to escape. If you notice, Odin doesn't even try to get out of there because he knows that he needs to be the distraction for all of them to get away. And they hit the ground running to Curry, crying, dude. Kinemon is bawling. Turn around and don't look back. Oh, and then this just small montage of everyone remembering Odin as he, you know, took them on. Do not underestimate my samurai. The relationship between leader and subordinate has been driven home over and over and over again in this arc, which I know a lot of people in the community think so. I am of the mind as well that Luffy will be put to the test, or at least the Straw Hats will be put to the test to truly show their loyalty, leader to subordinate and subordinate to leader. It might involve the Smile Fruits, it may involve torture, a lot of things that can happen, but one thing for sure is that it will be involved because symbolism is one of One Piece's greatest strengths, and this is a setup of an arc. A setup that has been meticulously calculated and the pieces put together for years, for almost a full decade. Oda has laid this out for all of this in this moment to come together. Ashura Joji remembering how Odin defeated him and took him over. Neko, Inu, and Kawamatsu. It's truly heartbreaking. You know, some of the characters were kind of goofy or whatever, but all of them, truly you felt that they all had valid reasons and strong connections to Odin and loyalty. Tremendous amounts of loyalty for this man. Odin was an infectious character. He was a Luffy of his time. Even Kaido tells him, we are gonna talk about you for a long time and your remarkable way of dying. He's impressed. He's impressed by the finesse of his death. Odin was larger than life, truly. Oh man, I'm gonna miss this character. It hurts. And reading this for the first time earlier today, like, I felt the emotion, but I knew that I had to, one, I was at work, so I couldn't let myself truly feel it. And two, just reading it a second time, you know, lets you dig through all the text, read between the lines. Even if you forget me, I do not mind. My soul will continue to live on. And between every breath, he's puffing and huffing because he knows he's at his end. Kaido then tells him, sorry about the old hag, I already killed her. Now, I don't know what this means. I think this is a translation error. I mean, we all know the hag needs to die for Bon Clay to get the fruit later down the road. But it seems very out of character for him to do something like that when Kaido is a pretty scummy pirate from what we've seen. There's not a lot of honor. But maybe this is, like I said, more either a translation error or character development. We do know that now in the present time, Kaido looks to be severely depressed. Maybe this day had something to do with it. And Oden tells him, you're a pretty serious one, aren't you? Get as strong as you can. If I accompany you with a cup of sake, then that suits me. I don't understand what that means at all. I don't know if that's a translation error. Maybe that's just me not understanding a Japanese nuance. And then the iconic moments. And it could not have gone down any other way. I'm okay if this doesn't even have a translation change. Odin, in typical Jiraiya fashion, while boiling in this 700-degree pot that is rising, looks Kaido in the face and tells him, Odin, the more he is boiled, and then he gets shot in the head for the people to all yell, the better he is. And everyone starts to cry, and as oh man, I have shivers like on my face. I feel goosebumps. If I wasn't recording, I'd probably have tears going down my eyes because something about recording doesn't let me fully get into it. Something I want to practice. But that small panel of Odin's smile peering through the boiling oil as it disappears, everyone crying, it's intense. It's hard for me to explain these chapters that have been happening to friends of mine that don't read or watch One Piece, because the whole thing with One Piece is that these scenes, even though they are amazing, they're not amazing standalone. They're amazing because we as the readers have been traveling with all of these characters for months, weeks, years, and it all means so much to us. It's a culmination of stories that have been weaved together to paint a beautiful symbolism, and it's unparalleled. Oda, you are a freaking genius. And as we get to the end of the chapter, we finally see Lady Toki, and something that was kind of bothering me for a while, I know a lot of people it was bothering them too, that she didn't seem to be showing any emotions, even though she knew that Odin was gonna die. Even her children looked to be distraught by it. Momonosuke seemed to be pretty sure that this was the end of his dad. And then you see a conversation that Toki had before when Odin was still captured, where Odin tells Toki, "I've reached my limits. If I don't manage to knock down Kaido, no one of our time will succeed. In a little more than 20 years, a gigantic war capable of separating the oceans will surely break out. In other words, in 20 years, the protagonist of this immense war will arise in the new world. They are the ones who can defeat Kaido. A long winter is brewing in Wano." How did Odin know all of this? I think it has to do with when he saw the One Piece. Either something was explained to him then that broke it all down, or Toki was somehow involved with her premonition. But he tells her, "Toki, I want to use your power if I ever die. Please give these katana to our children." And Toki's like, that's a little dangerous, but I guess I'll give weapons to children. And Odin's like, "Aren't you sad? Because I'm gonna die?" And Toki, much like a lot of women in One Piece, standing by her man and her leader, it's like, "But you're not gonna die, are you?" He's like, "That's my wife." And then she says, if I cry, people will laugh at me. There is no question that we are a burden for you. Look closely, Odin. 20 years into the future." And this is where I want to wait for Sunday for the official translation, but a couple of things. One, Toki in this panel, to me, looks damn close to Komurasaki. Like, too close. Like, not mother-daughter, but more like, this is Komurasaki. I would be shocked if it's not. If somehow this has been changed in my mind. But here's my headcanon. I'm thinking Toki, for whatever reason, maybe herself went to the future, and maybe she's pretending to be, or not really pretending, because she's not telling a lot of people, but to some, telling them that she is Hiyori, while Komurasaki maybe is Otoko, because we saw Toko with Hiyori from the beginning. And I would be surprised if Yasu, who already looked like an old man in the 20-year flashback, in the future would have had a young girl as a daughter. It just kind of doesn't make sense to me. I could be wrong, this is all speculation, but these are my thoughts. I personally think that Toko will be shown to be Hiyori in some way, and Komurasaki might be Lady Toki. But then the last words in the chapter, which say that the story continues its course in the present, just put a little peace in my heart to tell me that we've come to an end with this fantastic flashback. I want to say it's my favorite flashback of all time in One Piece, but I do want to go back and read it all the way from scratch just to truly solidify it in my heart, because before this, my favorite flashback was the Nico Robin flashback, which I'm actually watching right now in the One Piece anime with my wife, who finally gave One Piece a chance, like begrudgingly through much time we've gotten up to the Enies lobby arc. But this may top that flashback for me in my mind. This Odin flashback, being the longest that it has been the most emotional for me. A lot of scenes. My favorite part of the entire flashback, and I know this for a fact, it could possibly be my favorite scene in all of One Piece, but when Odin is writing in his journal and he says, "Do you want to know what Gold Roger, king of the pirates, did when the treasure that he saw was placed before his very eyes?" And you're thinking, like, what would Luffy even do? You know, so many thoughts are going through your mind, and you peel through the next page and you see a absolutely gorgeous, detailed panel of Gold Roger, king of the pirates, with a giant Luffy-like grin on his face, just saying, he laughed. He laughed. Is that not the most One Piece detail ever to be written into the story? How one drawing and two words almost brought me to absolute tears. It's unparalleled, and thank you, Oda, for giving me this experience that hopefully I will someday find something even better, but I at this moment cannot see how anything could top One Piece narrative storytelling. Anyway, that does conclude the review, the read-through of the chapter. It went on a lot longer, but clearly, as you saw, my thoughts are scattered. I'm not all the way there yet, but I do want to get out of my shell. I know that I struggle with putting thoughts together, especially after a long day of work, but I freaking love One Piece, and I want to be able to document all of my thoughts and everything that I want to discuss with other people in the community, since I know that One Piece community is huge on YouTube. I absolutely love how people love to talk about it, and I'm here for it. So I hope all you guys enjoyed. If you do enjoy the video, please feel free to leave a like, subscribe. I hope to get a lot more content out in the weeks to come. I'm definitely going to be doing weekly reviews from read-throughs, but if not for that, guys, until next week, have a good one.